What do you do at level 100 in Diablo 4? How do you have fun? Well, I've been doing some ear collecting myself, so let's go ahead and hop right into it. So what is there essentially to do once you've reached max level in the game? I find PvP to be quite a entertaining thing if there are players that are still engaging, and sometimes depending on the time of the day, you may have to reload in the areas as there may not be any players in the PvP zones. But I find PvP to be a refresher time and time again. For the most part, as long as I'm playing some sort of newer build, testing things out, PvP is always a really nice thing to do. But I've been getting this question asked quite a few different times while I'm live streaming. Slaydra, what is there to do once you reach level 100? There's like nothing to do. I've seen this on different forums, like you're level 100. What do you do? And now you can see this person saying it feels horrible because there's nothing to do. I'm reaching level 100. How does it feel? And here's what you can actually do in the game that is essentially gated by your level. There really isn't too many things gated, with the exception of making Uber Lilith a lot easier to do, as well as doing Sigil 100. The two sort of problems with these two endgame like mechanics that sort of gate you because the difficulty is just simply too hard. Once you reach, I think the earliest you can do is like level 73 to even attempt Uber Lilith. The game doesn't realistically let most builds actually do it because it's simply just too hard. So Uber Lilith is a obstacle that once you reach level 100, it is something that you can try to do. On top of that, there is also, of course, doing Sigil 100. Now, there is technically a reward with Uber Lilith. However, doing Sigil 100 doesn't have a specific reward. And I'll show you guys what the reward looks like if you guys are interested in even doing Uber Lilith. It's a lot easier to do it in a group. If you can't do it yourself, I really recommend to watch a YouTube video guide. It's not something where you can just go in and do it for the very first time unless you happen to have some really OP build, which most people, I'm going to be honest, you're going to have to look it up. Myself, the first time I ever did it, I tried it at level 73, and yeah, I wiped pretty hard multiple times, and I was thinking that I could outskill it, but it is kind of really gated by your character's power. So starting right off, in terms of the rewards, because like I said, Sigil 100 has no big reward. After the monster level is 85 in Diablo 4, there is no rewards past then. And you might be thinking, well, what do you mean level 85? Because you start getting, once you're in World Tier 4, as long as you're level 60, you can get pretty much the best in slot items. However, that is slightly untrue, and it's going to be even more relevant during the next season. And the reason why is once the monster is level 85 or higher, it has a chance to drop the Uber unique. However, this is kind of something where I would say it doesn't really matter too much, and the reason why is because, well, you're still realistically not going to get one. But at least there is some sort of a thing once the monster is level 85 or higher. Again, this is going to be more relevant during next season when they can actually drop. So starting right off, let me go ahead and show you guys the rewards if you guys are interested in doing Uber Lilith. There are some cosmetic rewards that you can actually get. So starting right off, this is the horse that you can get when you defeat Uber Lilith. It's just a skin. You can also get a title for doing it. That's just basically on top of your name. I have Hatred's Chosen right now. This one is much more difficult to get. If you really want to get the hardest thing in the game, I would probably say Hatred's Chosen is one of the more difficult ones. It requires you to get 100 points in PvP, you cannot die, and then you have to survive for 5 minutes where everyone can actually see you. The easier way to do this is just hit up a buddy, invite him to your party, kick him out of the party, and just kill him again and again. I got mine legit, but there is a way to do that. On top of that, there is another cosmetic horse that you can get. This is the other one. I know it looks very similar to the Uber Lilith kill horse, which was the one I just showed you guys. They're just bloody horses. like literally bloody horses though. Like, I mean, like, it's just a horse covered in blood. So there is a few other cosmetics that you can get from PvP that are only available during PvP, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys where to go to actually get them. So you're going to be going to this area over here at Denshar, and you're just going to go down to the area. There's scrolls that you can buy that aren't normally going to be dropping in the game, but for the most part it doesn't really matter too much. We're really here just to show off the cosmetics. So here is the cosmetics vendor, but here we'll sell you a bunch of different things. I have the 100,000 horse, but other than that, there really isn't anything that you're going to be really going for. So that is just one of the things that you can go ahead and push for if you are interested in collecting cosmetics. In addition to collecting the cosmetics, because right now we are currently in season 1, and as far as the seasonal journey goes, let me go and show you guys. If you guys do want to complete it, it is there as an option, because just like in any game with a battle pass, sometimes there is a cosmetic, and even though you may not want that cosmetic, sometimes what happens is there's another item that if you combine it with a cosmetic, it looks really cool, like it's kind of like a combo. So there is times where even if you don't really like the skin, you might as well go ahead and grab it. It just gives you something to do. If you look at the season journey, there are different objectives that you can complete, and there is still free stuff. You don't have to buy the battle pass. Make sure you also put in points into your seasonal blessings. Someone asked me, what is this? and they completed all of it and they were max level and they didn't know about this, and it's because they just decided to play. You have to click on your Smoldering Ashes as rewards, and then you get to put points into them. So basically it just gives you more XP. Obviously for level 100, XP doesn't really matter unless you're doing another alt character, and then you can get extra gold. It's kind of just small stuff. This thing in terms of a seasonal mechanic, I hope that it still is in the next season, but massively, I mean massively buffed, because at the very end of the seasonal journey, I made a YouTube shorts on this, and like it is just laughable in terms of the rewards compared to, let's say, Diablo 3. I'm not talking about just the cosmetic rewards, but at the very end there's like a chest that you can open up, and the chest literally gives you 3 random like rare items, like rings and stuff. It is incredibly, and I mean incredibly terrible for a set of rewards for reaching the max tier. When you go to the max tier in Diablo 3 for like the season journey, you get a full entire character gear set, and then on top of that you also get usually a cosmetic pet, and then you also get other cosmetic transmogs, and on top of that you get more storage space. Obviously Diablo 4 has a storage space issue, but that is related to the game not being able to handle it versus them being kind of stingy in that sort of a sense. So there's just way better rewards in Diablo 3, and that is, you know, the nature of the current state of the game in Diablo 4, but at least mentioning that there are going to be cosmetics that if you don't get them now, some games they re-release stuff, but sometimes they don't release stuff at all. The next thing that I actually have the most fun with is actually building off meta builds. Right now we're playing Penetrating Shot, and I'll give you guys a build guide for this one very soon. It's really fun, but this one, it was a Thorns build on a Rogue, and it's actually not bad. If you guys haven't seen the video, I'll link it down below, but basically Sky Hunter enables Thorns to actually work on Rogue. There's also a Shadow clone build that we're running, a unique item called the Grasp of Shadow. There's a lot of items in the game, and they're not going to be good. I'm just going to give you guys a warning as a heads up. It might not be 100% efficient. Like, you know, sometimes some of these items may be like 20% less DPS, but they add a little bit of a layer to gameplay. Like if you have certain items, you may want to build something around it. And I had a lot more fun building some random stuff than I did just keep on playing my level 100 character. Sure, I'm still playing my level 100 character, but what I mean by that is I'm not playing the same exact build, which was Twisting Blades, just like basically 99% of the Diablo community. We were just playing that consistently for Season 0 and Season 1. And so building new things is definitely something really fun. And also making alt characters. I actually had a lot more fun making alt characters versus, again, just sitting on my level 100. Another thing is that, like, if you are interested in doing Uberlith and any of these other endgame mechanics, you may want to look into upgrading your gear. And once you are at max level, trading is definitely a thing. There's a great website called the Diablo.trade, and you can buy and sell items. Again, this is not for real money, it's just in-game gold. I already have a guide. If you guys are interested in it, I show you guys how the whole entire trade system works on that website. There's a few other websites that I mentioned in that video, so check that video. Again, I'll also pin it in the pinned comments. Another thing is how to increase damage. Some people just want to min-max, right? That is a form of, you know, when I reach level 100, now that my character is as powerful as it's going to get via just playing the game, now I want to go ahead and make my character even more powerful via other methods potentially, and that could be maybe getting a specific potion that works once you get your crit hit chance enough, you can get extra crit damage, and certain numbers may give you better values depending on what pieces of gear that you get. And I also recommend watching that video if you do want to do, like, let's say PvP or Uberlith and you're kind of struggling in some departments. This is going to be excellent for you. Another thing which is going to be a little bit weird, but I definitely do recommend this. So when action RPGs kind of die out as the season goes along, because this is normal. This is not just with Diablo, this is with Torchlight, Path of Exile, any action RPG. As time progresses, basically the game will see less and less players, and people will just get burnt out of a game. How I still have fun sometimes is playing another game for a little bit and then I come back. So like I'll go play Diablo 3 for, let's say, a day or two or a week. We just had Season 29 drop. If you guys would like to have a fast leveling guide, this is the exact same leveling guide, and this is literally just me hitting record on my stream. Same exact method that I use to level. We hit rank 1 with this exact full thing that I walk through. It's like several hours long, but you can have the full guide for Season 29. You're going to be able to also find out what happens after you reach max level. You can have the full guide for that as well. If you are brand new to, let's say, the Diablo series, Diablo 3 Season 29 is a season where I could recommend if you haven't played it in a while. Could be nice to come back into the game, or even playing other Diablo games. You know, like I said, I honestly have a lot more fun coming back to a game. That's why sometimes I like mixing it up. Sometimes I'll play Overwatch, sometimes I'll play Fortnite, and then I'll come back to Diablo a little bit later. And this is a great way to still have fun with the game versus feeling burnt out by just slamming out like, okay, multiple level 100s. I want to say kind of waiting for Season 2 is going to be what most people will be doing, but I honestly have more fun when I'm playing this game for a little bit and then I come back to another game. So again, maybe making a different build or just trying out Diablo 2 Resurrect is a game I can highly recommend. If you're burnt out of Diablo 4, just kind of waiting for something. Diablo 3 and Diablo 2 do cost money, but there is an alternative to action RPGs. If you really want a awesome full walkthrough guide, I have Trial of the Ancestors, which is the most recent Path of Exile season, and the game is completely for free. And what I do like with Path of Exile is sometimes you can incorporate other builds that you like from Path of Exile, and you can be like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and make a build of a certain playstyle or a class, but in Diablo 4. And I know it sounds kind of strange, but right now what I'm doing in the brand new Cyberpunk is I have made a build dedicated all about Genji from Overwatch. So basically I took the inspiration of being able to throw like the different daggers, and then also being able to dash and wielding a katana and doing double jumping and that kind of stuff. I'm kind of building the character that I really like in another game in Diablo 4. So we will be doing that, and there's going to be a really cool video coming out very soon for this bouncing arrow build with this mechanic, which is similar to if you played Path of Exile. It's kind of like Chain. It's really, really cool, although it's like a chance how it works. But that's what I would recommend to do. Once you hit level 100, those are kind of the things that you can do in the game. But hopefully this gives you kind of an incentive to still continue to play, maybe in the next season when things get better and we get a lot more content. But I'm also curious, is there anything else that I left out on what to do in the game? So pretty much what I have fun with the most is PvP. But if you haven't done Uber Lilith is a fantastic boss if you are really interested in that challenge. But Sigil 100, again, there's really no rewards, and I totally get that because I was reading some of the comments on the different Reddit threads and stuff. But that's what I would recommend to do once you hit level 100. Those are my suggestions. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you felt like I missed out on anything, let me know down below. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of my content, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one. And also check the pinned comment for more videos if you'd like.